Okay, today's lecture is Word C, lecture part 2. We're going to cover spacing in paragraphs and possibly tabs and indents. We'll see how time goes with this first section. Now, we're going to discuss first how to change line and paragraph spacing. It's really easy to do. It's something that's not difficult at all. There's on the ribbon at the top, there's a button you can click on. I'll show you in a second. Let me pull up my window. Right up here at paragraph, you get another one of those corner arrows that you see on some of the items that actually have extra menu items. You can click on that and that'll bring up your paragraph spacing and your line breaks. We talked about this a little bit in another lecture. And also you've also got these commands up here as far as spacing your margins. You've got spacing of your lines between each line. You can click on this and pull this all up and actually adjust things right there. And it all makes things a lot easier when you can actually click on a button, or you can go to the full menu. So let's go back to the lecture. You can increase the space between the lines, and you can also increase the space between the paragraphs if you want to set your paragraphs off with a little more white space in between them. Now this first lecture, this first lesson in this section, you've got the Quest Specialty Travel document that you pull up and work on in this tutorial, and it shows you how you're going to add some space after the title. You're going to insert the point and increase the font in the first space. If you look too, you can see on each one of these lines you've got the paragraph return, which is a command you can turn on and off up on your ribbon or your toolbar at the top. Let me show you on this one. If you want to see your paragraphs returns and you want to see your spacing, you can click on this and it will show you all your paragraph spacing. Let me show you closer. We'll zoom in on this a little bit. And you can actually see at the end of each line, like I've used word wrap for all this paragraph, and then down here is actually a hard carriage return or a hard paragraph spacing. You can see that real easy in this document. And you can see the same ones in the tutorial document, the Quest Travel document. Let's close this window again. You also can look at how they put spacings before and after headings. The top heading here, they put 12 points of space before and after the big heading, and then they also added 6 points of space after the small minor headings. This area here, they put at 1.15 spacing so that there's more space between the lines. And also you've got the opportunity to use quick formatting, using the format style on each side, and we talked about this also in an earlier lecture, but we'll show you this again. Let me go down to the next slide. It'll show you the style toolbars that you can use, and this is where I was showing you in an earlier lecture how you can select to create a style, clear the formatting, or apply styles, such as if we wanted to take a line in this document. Say I wanted to take all of the first headings in this document, and remember the command that you can hold down Control and actually select multiple listings. So I'm going to go through here and grab every one of the titles here using the Control button to allow me to check to select extra lines. This is only a one-page document. So now we're going to go to Styles and we're going to go to Heading 2, and I'm going to select Heading 2 for that style, which Heading 2 is actually, let's see what Heading 2 has. If you click on the style, it shows it as Cambria 13-point font. The font color is accent 1 paragraph. Spacing is before the headline is 2 points, and it's keep with the next, keep the lines together, outline level 2, and you follow the normal style, and it's based on the normal style. And that's how you'd work as far as creating a style. Within your style, you've got the opportunity within style to actually create a style. Let's go look at this drop down menu here. Once again, you've got the corner arrows that you can select here to open this up, and then if you go down to the bottom here, I'm going to move this up a little bit. If you go down to the bottom down here, out of the frame, you can see Options, and Options allows you to go in and make some other selections also. But on Heading 2, like I said, if you click on it, you can actually see what each heading has as an option or has as a selection that's been made for that heading. So let's minimize this down, go back to the slides. These are the optional styles that are available, and then you can also make styles, apply styles, and add them to your document or to specific lines in your document if you want a header on a paragraph, or if you want the page header or the footer or any particular line in your document to have a specific style, and you can go ahead and select that. Now to align paragraphs, we talked about that earlier also. You've got left aligned paragraphs that are flush with the left margin and the right hand edge is jagged. In other words, the words don't end in the same spot on the right hand side. Right aligned text is when the text is straight lined on the right hand side and the left line is jagged or not lined up. Centered is, just as it says, the text is positioned evenly between the two margins. And then justified is where you take the text and the software adds extra spaces and micro spaces in between the words and letters so that the sentence ends up justified, straight borders on both sides. And we'll pull my document up quick, take a look here. If you wanted to change this paragraph right now, you can see it's right justified because it's got the jagged edges on the right hand side. Let's change it here on your toolbar at the top. Let's change it to right justified. You can see now that the document has a straight line on this side and a jagged margin on this side. If we change it to centered, you see the document will align it evenly between the margins. And then full justified, the document actually, the software actually takes and puts extra spaces in between the words to make sure everything lines up equally. Fully justified will work in a lot of cases. Every once in a while you run into a situation where you have a document that's got fully justified paragraphs. Those can kind of be a pain if they make too large a space between words. It just looks really odd. Or if you have a short sentence at the end of the paragraph and it's fully justified, it can stretch it out full width with only like 3 words, and that'll look really odd. So let's go back to the lecture. Okay, so aligning paragraphs, you can see by this template here that you're going to see in the tutorial, you've got right aligned up here, you've got center aligned on the titles, and you've got full justified on this paragraph, and you've got left aligned all on this one page. So again, you're going to look at where you're aligning the paragraphs in Word. You're going to click on this menu here where you get the paragraph settings. And here's the screen it talks about in the tutorial where you can set justified, left, centered, right. You can put it at outline level, or you can change the outline type of text that it would be. Then you can also go and change the spacing before and after. You can indent. You can special first line. You want to take it in by 1. Let's put that there, and you can see the first line on this is indented by 1/2 inch. So then you want to take spacing, and I'm going to slide this over a little bit so you can watch things as I change it. There's single, 1.5 inches, double spacing, and it shows you down here in your preview what it's going to look like. When you click OK, it actually does it to your document.